So it's on. Race 2 on port entry. INEOS Team UK on starboard. Winners of race 1, Rossa, Prada, Pirelli, and the wind is up. And guess who's forwarding right now? INEOS Team UK, and surely they will be loving that feeling right now.
Stephen, it is getting windier and windier, between 14 and 16 knots on the race box. They are going to be loving this.
This is real sea breeze, you know, this is that real nice dense sea breeze that's come in off the ocean. Should be really not very shifty. It should be just like a flat out boat speed contest. Hopefully we see a little hand-to-hand combat.
Let's get onto the water ahead of this race with Anderson Reggio. Anderson, what he can see, what feeling do you have about this race?
They on a 3 there, Joey.
I'm looking up the track right now. There's a great build in the pressure upwind of us here. I'd almost be a little concerned I might have the wrong jib on if I was INEOS. Looks like they've stepped down on the size of jib, but not as far as Rossa. Rossa with a smaller head sole, which might make a bit of a difference as this pressure increases.
Let's head up into the sky and in heli to Nathan Alleridge. Nathan, what are you seeing and what are you looking forward to?
This is the race committee. The wind sampling period is complete and this race is live.
There you go. I can see that the breeze is definitely with you. I can see white caps all over the race course. It looks like it's going to be a speed race to me. I don't see many shifts from up here. It looks pretty uniform. And I'm interested to know, like what Anderson was saying with the jib sizes, Rossa from up here look like they've got a much smaller jib on. So once again, they could be in better range with their setup. But I honestly think there's going to be some fireworks in this pre-start. There's enough wind to foil without any issues. Boats not needing to be towed up at all. And I think we're going to have a ripper at the start here.
So from a current standpoint, Nathan, you were talking about before the racing started. Is there any real advantage to one side of the race course? I know it's flown in a little harder on the right side. Do you think that really makes a difference right now?
I honestly think, Kenny, right now the current's pretty uniform across the course. I can't pick any differences up here at all. Before, when it was lighter winds, the current made more of a difference, but now we've got 15 knots of breeze. I think these guys won't be thinking about current. It'll be more about just going boundary to boundary, like what Bruni said in his interview.
Thanks, Nathan Alleridge, high in the sky and heli 2 this afternoon. And Anderson Reggio on the water. Shirley Robertson, I know we talked about it.
Still okay on time?
All good. I just think it's ramped up a little bit more because the conditions have changed.
My pitch, your charge,
And in the commentary box, I mean, we are getting excited. This is the perfect conditions for racing. It's all on.
Big difference in jibs, though. Everybody's picked it up. It is a big size difference in jibs.
INEOS Team UK have port entry allowed in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. It's gone past that. But they are rocketing into the pre-start. And now we might see what we've been waiting for. Elbows out. You can see Rossa, Prada, Pirelli now in on the 2-minute mark. And in they come. So wait, watch, and listen, because this is going to get good.
Geometry, time and distance, or hand-to-hand battle. You pick it up pretty early on in the sequence. It depends on where all these guys are going to go. Do they throw some different looks that we haven't even seen yet?
Keep following. Keep coming up, boys.
Final way here.
Going board up in 2. 1, board up.
There's that
we're 30 the boundary this way, 23 quickest, killing 115 here. It's slightly lower than us now.
They're trying to do a real kind of big loop, a big time and distance. It's going to be up to Prada to decide whether they get that
working down here now.
or after them.
Okay, he turns. He's staying high. He can get on our hammer here. Okay. 14th boundary, killing 40. He now turns down, Ben. Okay, board down. Crossing. Eyeball him behind the main.
Okay, he's early. Standby drive.
He's early.
Killing 25, Ben.
That means they're going to go behind and push.
Killing 20.
Yeah.
2. Lane line is 10. Killing 15. Killing 7 to the pin.
Okay, up hard.
What's coming up off there? They're trying to start.
It's still sharp. He's in 2 boards. Yeah, he's going slow.
Clear. My pitch. Your pitch. He looks to push, Ben.
Okay, copy.
Trimming up.
He's got slight start of fire.
Up hard.
Killing 7.
Should be signed
Go
off.
hard, guys. Go hard. My pitch.
They're going to gap off.
We've seen how
Eagle.
powerful it is.
He's on the line here. He's 2 boards.
Yeah, I was on the line.
He's down.
In a great spot.
Charge
Coming up.
Charge.
It's charging battery.
Here we go, boys.
Now lower.
Coming down. Down and touch. 5, 4, 3, 2,
All the way, go. Race 2 is a go in the Prada Cup Final Series 2021. What a start.
Start, Shirley, but this is the boundary coming up. Who gets that first cross?
We're losing speed now. To bail out here pretty soon.
Prada falling down into INEOS. We just heard Francesco Bruni saying,
You want
we
to
can't
take
live here
border?
for long, we're going to have to get out.
3, 2, 1.
Stand by to the left here. Copy. Take order 1.
Nice.
Nice, going. Building speed. Yep. Good pressure here.
My right, my trap.
I think we get all the way to boundary, Ben. Yeah, copy. Okay.
Yep.
Nice little lefty there, push into it.
Boundary. We're going to have our first good split here, Nathan.
Might lead the boundary.
Any side of the race course that you like more than the other?
Set up, let's
If I had to put any money on it, the left-hand side of the course looks a little bit windier than the right-hand side of the course. So this is going to be really interesting when they come back together. That was such a tight start. And it's all about this. INEOS, I think, have better pressure, but Rossa are going to come back on start attack.
38, which is max left, I think.
Left has no numbers, Ben.
Speed weather.
Take a bit of height now.
Not that shifty tactician weather that we see in some of the race courses around here. This is flat out boat speed weather right now. Italians do
A
not
little bit
look
of
so
speed
well.
in general. Stand by in 3, 2, 1, 4 down. Turning.
I've seen the Italian have a little bit of extra height on the upwind. I'm surprised that they can live in that starting
Moment
position.
we have a solid pitch.
I think we got
Power to
too close
power.
for a leave out. Copy. Okay, my wheel. Yep. Coming down. Don't go too early. Don't go too early. Coming down.
He's going behind us. He's going behind us.
Yours then.
Attack advantage came across.
Copy.
Giles Scott grabs the wheel and does this. Did you hear that? That was interesting.
Okay, boundaries 15 away. Okay, set up, let's.
More animated. Pressure-wise,
My pitch. I will.
and there's nothing in the second race. Six legs were on the first upwind on the stadium course.
There we go. One of the right boys right now.
Spectator fleet framed in front of
It's very
Toto.
close on attack to a cross.
Go for the cross.
Okay, we're looking for.
I'm going to go click over, kick on the boundary.
Copy.
On the line. That feels good.
This is so good. I mean, this is welcome to the modern world of sailboat racing. Just incredible. I just can't get used to it.
Just let me go down to the Anderson ratio. Advantage from where? Who holds advantage?
I got you crossing.
Yeah, no problem. My right, my trap.
It looks from this. He's not lying either, so he's going to come back this way. You heard Jimmy talk about wanting to go just a hair over lane. Just put a little bit in the bank on that one.
Is it clear?
But it looks like they'll get across.
Pietro.
Yes.
Ready.
I'll start it for you. 3, 2, 1, going down.
Of INEOS Team UK rounding the left-hand mark at the top gate for the first time. Back in race number 1, the advantage of 1 minute and 20 seconds. Well,
Fairway 2, 1, fairway.
Coming. And advantage is now just 11 seconds.
2, my pitch. Forward down. Okay, forward.
For a bit of a split on a race course like this. It's probably okay to be a little less patient because you're not waiting for that big shift.
No, I agree. And remember, Nathan, he liked the right-hand side of the screen that we're looking at. He liked that. He thought there was more pressure over there. And maybe Giles Scott has seen exactly that.
Nathan, impressive leg by Prada, though. Really not a perfect start by them. They were in a vulnerable spot. And they just put the hammer down.
we are good.
Yeah, it was very impressive first up win by Rossa there. They started it probably too close to Lewin. You know, they didn't hold all the way to boundary, so they had to bail early. And I also think they went the wrong way in terms of pressure. I think the pressure is better on this left-hand side, further away from Rangitoto. It's pushing in quite hard. So for them to take the lead going the wrong way is very impressive. And I think INEOS have got a lot on here to try and get back into this one and take the lead back.
Very, very steady pressure everywhere at the moment.
I think more to come on this side.
Yeah, over on this boundary, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go all the way to it.
Brilliant view on our virtual eye. Doesn't it make a magnificent stadium feel in this second race of the Prada Cup final series? And Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli doing the job right now. This is the first downwind leg of this second race, and their lead is comfortable at the moment.
Like the boats and what the boats can do, this virtual eye has changed our sport. You know, from a sport surely that was so hard to understand because of just this expansion of water and a mark kind of on the horizon to kind of a playing field that is easy to understand even for people who aren't sailors.
Coming at you.
Great time for the speeds going downwind, and there's not a heck of a lot between them. Took a little while for INEOS to get up around
normal or
that. Not Mark, we were talking that was 52 miles an hour.
Prada have extended. I mean, look at how many meters. We're now nearly at 300 meters. They've done well on this run. Partly, I think, protecting that left-hand side of the course that that Nathan favoured so much.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, bottom gates for the first time. They'll take what we can see here is that we'll call it the left-hand mark, and they'll go around. They will fly around. One thing we have noticed is this regatta has been great, not just this one, the whole regatta, smooth as which they are going around and doing their moves. It was 11 seconds at the top. I was going to come up just a little bit, but this is well fast over. Both boards down for 17 seconds now.
Your pitch or mine? Mine.
Yeah, that was an odd rounding by Luna Rossa, wasn't it? It just looked a little lazy going around there. I mean that with all due respect. Nothing is lazy on these boats, but it just looked a little wide, a little odd.
Both boats split on this stadium course.
Boundary 16 away here.
Let's listen in and see what's going on.
Just set up here, blitz. Okay, crossing. Ready. 2, 1, board down. Okay, got. Turning. Okay, wheel. 28. Okay, main up. Building here. 50. Yeah. 32's coming up. Nice. Working up a couple.
Speeds come back in a little
Expecting
bit.
a face here.
Over 100 meters.
Pressure's better left still, right?
They still like the left. Nathan likes the left. Everybody likes the left.
And then think about it.
Anderson,
27 back the other way now,
has not obviously lost a race up until today this year. Are you surprised at what you see right now, or is this kind of making sense to you?
I mean, there's a little bit that's surprising to see them. They're exiting a fair number of their maneuvers, especially their tacks with a little bit of leeward heel, and their rate of acceleration out of their tacks definitely seems to be a fair bit less than what you're seeing on Luna Rossa. Luna Rossa's just made a mess of the screen that they're sailing around the track.
It's lefty, stand by. 3.
What would that be? What kind of things do you think they can take?
I think it's just more than anything else, Shirley, just practice. I mean, the more consistently you can just execute everything, the more you operate well as a nice, well-oiled machine, and this team seems to be functioning really well.
Let's go on board Luna Rossa, because the one thing we try and get is a bit of chatter, but the last time we went on board they were pretty comfortable considering they were leading. So let's just have a listen to see what's happening now in race number 2, where that lead has come down around 150-60 metres.
He's tacked. Normal boat's good.
I think we'll go 1 and in left.
Yeah, sounds good.
That's good.
Yeah, way better pressure left.
He's behind he's on our line at about 5. You want him to hit me?
Nathan they keep.
I think we'll go
Out there, big boy. They still like the left too, just like you.
I'm glad they're seeing what I'm seeing. It's pretty obvious from up here. If I could get a radio to them, I'd be telling them the same thing. Take the left turn of the top mirror away and just send it downwind. It's 5 knots windier on one side and the other at the moment.
Stand by, guys. 3, 2, 1. More down. Put pressure on this.
And my trav.
The trav.
Yep, mine.
Crossing. My trav.
You make it or not?
Pin up, that's it.
Make it or not, they're talking about the ley line into this gate. They're trying to, obviously, Shirley, they're trying to minimize maneuvers right now because on these race courses, Stephen, when you're going wall to wall, right, Shirley, you're going wall to wall, it's really just settle as much as you can. This is a boat speed contest. That's what we're looking at right now, much more so than a lot of the racing we've seen.
Got it.
Very shifty. Breeze coming off the land.
I will.
People watching at home, the best way to figure out the boat speed is looking down and you see the knot rate. And you see the Italians coming in now to the top gate, the halfway mark, shall we say, of this second race, race number 2.
Good pressure on this one.
Prada Cup. They took race 1 by 1 minute and 52 seconds. They're in the lead in race number 2. They're heading downwind on leg number 4 of 6. But you know, this is the crazy thing about these boats. You just don't know. As we see INEOS Team UK, they are firing into the top gate as well.
Your wheel.
The advantage is increased just slightly. Just slightly to Rossa. It's now 19 seconds.
Stand by.
On board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. The move must be, it sounds confident.
There's no doubt, is there, that the Italians have a click of extra pace, and if you just have that tiny bit of extra pace, you can go exactly where you want, and they've completely dominated what we all think is the length, you know, the good side of the track.
More pressure for us at the moment.
Yes, yeah.
You talk about getting better in increments. That's what we're seeing today. Little bits, slowly but surely, taking you towards the finish line.
Well, we talk now about marginal gains, but I mean, I think we're seeing a step up by the Italian outfit. This is impressive. We did not expect it to be so clean and so smooth and so much faster.
We have talked a lot on land about how confident the Italians have been, and they have been quite vocal.
Well, there's a fine line between confident and
pressure here.
and I would actually shift them in kind of that cocky direction. You know, they have. That comment that Francesco had about there's nothing I like about the British boat. You know what? That is fighting words, man. So you better be ready to back it up, right? They're backing it up.
They're backing it up.
There's no question. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would have gone there, Cheryl, with the. That's pretty. They were. They hung it out there pretty good.
Your trap.
Strong speeds downward by both these boats. Look at that, 44 knots and counting. And the lead by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli sitting around the 280 mark. They haven't been behind all day.
Already.
This
will be a two-board round-up, boys.
Yeah, it's right here.
Do you think that's having a play
The
here?
other one was mine.
So it's really a difference. It's not, I don't know if it's
Just coming out of the trim on here. I just want to give a bit of
coming
forwards down
This is
on
a lower
3,
aspect. The
2,
kind of
1.
fat head jib looks different, but I'm not sure it's a huge size difference.
Oh boys, turning in
Prada
3,
Pirelli about to complete
2,
leg 4 of 6.
Here we go.
Bottom gate heading upwind for the last time.
Windy enough now, Stephen, that they're going around that leeward gate with both boards in to avoid that sideways skid. So breeze is still on, Nathan, and it doesn't look like it's going to let up. This is like the perfect breeze for these guys, isn't it?
Okay. Yep. Straight on.
Yeah, can the breeze is beautiful out here now, and you're spot on there. The last time Luna Rossa round the bottom mark, they did a single board only, and that was that leeway skid. That big slow arc where I think they lost quite a few meters. It's definitely windy enough now for 2 boards down around these bottom marks. It gives the boats that extra grip, and I haven't really understood it until I got in the helicopter, and now I can see from above how much grip they get with that windward foil and how the boat shoots upwind out of the bottom mark as opposed to sliding sideways. So you can see why all the teams are doing it.
Coming up.
I think what Nathan just said is he's happy to be out there because when he's in the next Emirates Team, like one of these boats, he's already doing his homework for the next one.
What I find interesting about how he's feeling the breeze in a helicopter about 700 meters above the water.
It's visual. We don't make it up, believe it or not. We can actually see the dark spot.
I said feeling, not saying.
Okay.
We will lose coverage on this 2 windows.
Detached, we've got 25 back to boundary right now. Yeah.
Giles Scott is kind of limited on a day like today. Is he kind of negated, surely, because of it? Because it's just kind of a boat speed contest and not that shifty condition.
We've seen him really flourish up on the stadium course, but out here it's more straightforward. It's much more about pace,
right
on the right side.
Okay, he follows.
Covering.
Okay, pressure building in 5. Got an intersection 15 away. Yep. He's marginal 1 and in to that right turn. We're 2 and in left in 10 seconds. Okay, building in 5.
See it right there, the jib, that triangular jib on the black boat on
intersection
INEOS.
there.
And then
any
much
time
more
from
of
here,
a
good lefting.
Okay, set up. Let's a fathead jib on the other boat.
Ready. 2.
I bet they all would wish they had.
Got it.
Going out here on the water, you know more about these boats than any of us do. I bet they both wish they had smaller jibs up at this stage.
Yeah, actually, when I saw INEOS put that jib up, I was expecting that to go up much shorter on the hoist and expecting that to have almost a J3. When we were looking at this build coming, you'd almost be borderline J3 in these boats.
We'll go straight 1 and in.
Rossa, Prada, Pirelli, sitting around 33 knots, but a lead of 260 meters, as you see it on our screen with our virtual eye. Just makes understanding this match racing, which is match racing, so much better. We didn't expect match racing. We were talking about this a lot of it, but this is quite simply cool.
Yeah, match racing. It's real racing. The upwind starts is clearly kind of changed the game back in a very interesting direction, at least for us diehard sailors. We see the intricacies of the details, and yeah, it makes it more fun. There's no question about that.
It's just happening, Stephen, at 10 times the speed that we're used to seeing. But yeah, it's all the same, and it's great to hear the dialogue from the boats. It's exactly the same conversation that you would have on any match racing boat.
This is where you need to shout out of the set out of how I feel the need for speed. Heading towards the top gate on the stadium course for the final time in race number 2. Much heavier winds for both these boats. It was a light air race, the first one, won by that beautiful boat there in Luna Rossa and Prada Pirelli.
Any issues with him on this rounding?
Should we go? Luna Rossa
should be able to see
head into the top gate for the final time. And they are simply honking that boat.
3,
they are
2,
going.
1, clear.
Here we go, boys.
One foil this time, there's 2 at the bottom gate, single foil this time, and they're on their way home. What a sight.
Nice work, good rounding, boys.
Okay, that's a real rounding, right? That was Jimmy Spithill saying, that was our last chance to really kind of have a major here. Breeze is up, no question. That he was kind of relieved to get around that.
2, 1, your wheel.
Okay, get around the top gate for the final time.
There we go.
What have they got? What have they got in their kit bag going home?
Nice, sir. Okay, take any time here, Ben.
Okay, let's set up for a drive, guys.
Crossing. My pitch. Ready.
2, 1, all down. Down it.
You on exit. Nice board. good, nice there. High pitch. Okay, building.
Looks so well. It looks so smooth.
Nice, 40s.
It's still violent on board, isn't it? All the grinding, all the motion, all the maneuvers, all the systems. It's still what looks so gorgeous and eloquent from our vantage point here is literally violent on board.
You know, we didn't know what the performance gains would have been from both teams. The teams didn't know what the performance gains were either. And I think the interesting thing about this series is actually it will go on a long time. So we will see gains and changes as this series progresses.
I wonder, surely staying on that thing just for a short moment, whether the time in the shed for INEOS, it could be any team, whether you can get to a point where you're not realising you're detuning the boat.
Well, I mean, maybe that's a question for Anderson, but you know, I think you have a lot of data to check it on, and now the gains are much smaller.
The lead has lengthened for Rossa, Prada Pirelli. It is quite choppy out there, isn't it? It is a bit strong.
I think these guys are going to be kind of surprised.
Take up, even on exit.
I always say, would you switch boats today? If you get in a race, in a match race like this, right? Would you change boats? If I were on INEOS right now, I'd have to say, yeah, I think I would, right?
Okay. Speed's coming.
I run up.
Rossa, Prada Pirelli. This is the final stage of race number 2 of the Prada Cup finals in 2021. They got it in race number 1 by 1 minute and 52 seconds, and I don't think anyone prior to this race series starting would have picked that Rossa, Prada Pirelli would take a 2-0 lead in the Prada Cup final series, but that is what they have done.
Nice, boys.
2-0. A whack across the chops for INEOS
down here. We'll just drop the sails down here, lads.
But we are very early in the piece. Remember, it's the 1st to 7th that goes on and faces Emirates Team New Zealand. We're 2 races down. Still a long way to go as INEOS Team UK. They'll be feeling this like a punch to the guts. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, go forward down. Forward down.
It's early. They've crossed the line. 26 seconds the margin.
Turning up.
But it's Rossa victorious.
I got pitch.
Double delight for the Italian syndicate.
Okay. All right, guys. Good effort. Wasn't going to happen today. Just got to keep pushing.
I think we should let Shirley ask all the questions to Ben this time.
Master.
Well, you just listened to that comment from Ben Ainslie coming off the water. It wasn't enough today.
Not going to be happy. Not going to be happy. And surprised, don't you think? I think surprised.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, certainly in that second race, quite a lot more wind pressure. They were very comfortable in that the last time we saw them race. Yeah, what are you thinking now? How do you answer that?
Yeah. The other boat's not slow, I'll tell you that. You got to pull something out here. There's going to be a big old debrief in the British camp tonight, I can tell you.
Because the talk has always been about INEOS Team UK being a strong boat, a fast boat, and stronger winds. The stronger winds and...
Yeah, but I think that's slightly unfair because early on in the pre-Christmas, yes, they were kind of a one-trick pony. They had to have wind because they couldn't get up in light air. I think they evened out their performance top to bottom. We saw that in the round robin series. There's no question that they became a better all-around boat.
Confirmation, race 2, the first 2 races of the Prada Cup Final Series in 2021, and it's a double for Rossa, Prada Pirelli. It was 1 minute and 50 seconds in race number 1, 26 seconds in race number 2, but they get the job done.